Welcome back to Kryptolytix, giving you a fresh take on crypto analytics. And this is your Solana ecosystem recap, where I cover some of the things going on in the Solana space. So let's jump in. Okay, there you go. Bit of a fresh intro there. So let's have a look at the Solana chart. We're going to cover the Solana ecosystem and just go briefly over the price action. We came right into that support. We're in the bull market support band for Solana. We're bullish on the TK trend meter, and we came right into support. Now, I was buying these levels pretty aggressively, admittedly, but will we just get a lower high? Only if we can break this level. If we can break up here and potentially just create a sort of lower high here, then we might get a nice path towards our resistance at 178. So that's something we could potentially get if the market resumes bullishness, only if, because, you know, if you watched my last video, you would have heard that we have a decent case for further downside. So as long as we're below here, or at least below this level right here, then essentially we could just be forming another lower high. So we could come up as high as, you know, your 160 level potentially. Felt like not that long ago we were in 170, but you know, that's how these things go. Again, yeah, that was the start of the month. We were at 170 after this inverted head and shoulders, which did come up here, but that was not the inverted head and shoulders target, right? Because if this was a proper inverted head and shoulders, the breakout would have seen us move up to the top of the range, so back up to here. So that's why, you know, chart patterns, I only give them a little bit personally, but I know a lot of other people give them a lot in terms of their importance. So yeah, well, look, that was a pretty clean inverted head and shoulders, but we just got rejected off the resistance and came down further and further. Now let's have a look right here, the support. This is the 618. So this is the 0.618 on the Fibonacci, which Bitcoin has not even got to yet. So that just goes to show the amount of pullback this is. Although this is only measured from the range, right? So if I went all the way back, if I change this to back here, then we haven't even got to our 50% level yet. But this is just for this range, essentially. So I'm measuring from the top here to the bottom here for the Fibonacci. So the lower time that you measure it from, the less important the Fib levels are. So what happened if we measured it from the last low, which is more often than not is where things are measured from, and that would be 113. Wow, I think I would sell everything that not everything that I own. I would do a lot to make sure I've got capital for that if that did happen. Because I've got a DCA turned on. I think I mentioned on Jupiter, I've just got a DCA turned on and just keeps buying every 4 hours. Now I've got an even bigger DCA turned on where anything under 140, it's like 3 times the buy size over a 2-hour period, because I don't want to miss the bottom. And so rather than trying to time it, I'm just going to keep buying and buying and buying because I'm bullish on Solana, as I'm sure you're well aware. So essentially that's what we're looking at, like at least on this chart. We hit support, we're coming back up, but unless we clear with this 162 region, could just be a relief rally essentially. And if it's got a decent amount of legs in it and it sort of breaks this sort of short-term structure, again, unless we can break this 177 level, it's just part of a broader range. This chart to me looks fine. We haven't broken this level here, which again, this is structural support. If this structure breaks, then that looks pretty bad. The next stop would be probably our 122, 124 level if we came back down here, because that's this sort of level there. And if we broke even that, well, that would be where we start to look at our $100 level, which I think would be very heavily defended. That would be our Bitcoin going down like quite a lot. That would be what it would take to get down there. Because for Solana, that's like a 30% price move, which I did say, I think to get to the lowest point for Bitcoin would be about a 20% move down. So 30%, it sounds about right. And if it was double, you know, then let's not discuss those levels unless they're absolutely necessary. So yeah, Solana's kind of rejecting here a little bit. In terms of broader trend lines, we've got this trend line here, which was acted as resistance, and this trend line here, which is really old now, acted as resistance as well here. So this breakdown here, this is not ideal, but we can sort of fake out down below there as a deviation, and then if we can reclaim it and get back above this support zone here, that would be pretty bullish, and that's where we can start to really consider this. And if we can take out these levels, then that's where we can get back to our range highs. So that's looking okay. Now, if we have a look at our moving averages, we just bounced off the 20-week EMA. Look at that. So let's have a look at the ticket here. The ticket, so that's 144 was the, or at least it is now, because we got a weekly candle close. That's our EMA at the moment. So beautiful support right there. But we're currently rejecting off the 100-day EMA, which if we have a look at the ticket there is 151 right now. Again, this is daily, so this will update tomorrow. And then we've got the 21 and the 50-day EMAs above, which is now resistance. Look at that. Acted as resistance there, even the 50 resistance. So if we can get a relief rally back up to that 158 level, I think there's a pretty decent chance we'll get rejected from there, right? That's all I'm going to say. I would love for us to push past it and then, you know, turn this into support, because that would be great. That would be like, yeah, get rejected and then maybe come back down and then we come back, then, you know, then we shoot off essentially. But let me hide those drawings because that gets really messy. As far as the trend is concerned, we're about to potentially close a 12-hour candle above the average true range here. Now, if you remember, I did say I've got a small short open for Solana, and that would be me closing that and opening a long here, but that would be longing right into resistance, which sounds like a really bad idea. So I would probably not flip it immediately, wait for whatever the rejection would potentially be, and then start to scale into a long down to where we would flip, because that would flip there. I would say that's how this super trend works. It's a Heikinashi super trend. So this is a custom indicator and strategy that I coded, and the link's below if you want that code, if you do. But again, for me, the way I like to code my strategies, I put in a backtest date range to restrict the data, so I can just test, you know, back to the start of the cycle, which is 2023, January 1st, start of the cycle. And I've also got a stop loss as well for this strategy and all that sort of stuff. And you know, if you like the look of this strategy, because you can come here and have a look at it, I mean, the percentage profitable is not great. So you get, you know, big win and then a series of losses, and then big win and then a series of losses, kind of how it works. But if you like the idea of this, again, it's all about, you need the capital for this to take the drawdown before you get the next big win. So this is not a degen strategy. You need to make sure you are not high leverage and you've got plenty of, you know, equity to be trading against, because you get these decent drawdowns if you just followed this without anything else, just signal to signal. And I'm trading this currently on Drift and on Blowfin. And if you remember, I'm a Blowfin partner. So if you want to join Blowfin, it's a really good exchange. I'm a big fan of it. I like how clean the interface is and the workflow. It's a lot better than, you know, in my opinion, than a lot of the others out there. And that's one of the reasons why I was happy to become an affiliate with them. You can find a link in the description below and you'll get a nice sign-up bonus for that, as well as discounts on trading fees. So that's that out of the way. At the moment, what am I seeing for Solana? I'm seeing we've held this 20-week really nicely as support. Another support we've got here is 130, which is our 200-day EMA. Let's have a look and see how the 200-day has worked in the past. Pretty well. Actually, look at this flip of all these EMAs. That was pretty crazy, but like, this is probably one of the most bullish flips of price we've seen in a long time. But now they're starting to all squeeze. Slowly going to start squeezing back in together if we keep ranging. At least, you know, in the short term, we're getting rejected from the 100-day. We've got big resistance above over here. If we can push past that 160 level and close meaningful candles as in daily or 3-day above that, then we'll come back up to here, I would say, up to the 174 level. And, you know, if we don't get rejected from there, then we probably don't really care about that. And that's when we get back to our highs again. But that would rely on the rest of the market doing well as well, right? Solana can't go up in isolation. It does need to go up with the overall market, as sentiment is all tied together. But at least for now, it's looking okay. Hopefully by the time you watch this video, it's not just like a full retrace of this candle. So you'd be like, yeah, you didn't really pick that. Well, I'm telling you right now, it's rejecting off the 100-day EMA. And we found a really nice support off the 20-week, which is where I had some significant buy levels for spot. That's right, just spotted. This is spot and chill, right? So I got some significant buy levels for spot down here. I've got some more at the 200, and I have to keep canceling those in Jupiter, because that's where I do my limit orders for spot and reopening them. But I just do that every few days, get the updated value. So yeah, I mean, it's still kind of bearish at the moment, at least short term. But if we have a look and zoom out a little bit, as long as we're above the $118 level, it's bullish. It's still kind of bullish. I mean, this is just kind of a really messy potential inverted head and shoulders, if you will. Anyway, let's get on with the ecosystem update, because price action is kind of meaningless when you see just how much awesome stuff is going on in the Solana ecosystem, right? It doesn't matter, like, price action really doesn't matter at the end of the day when you see how much crazy stuff is going on in Solana. But again, as I say, you know, I live for the red days. I've been stacking dupe. That's my DCA turned on. It's very small DCA, I think this one is, and I got the big one that's, yeah, so 160 is my cap, so anything under 160, the DCA turns off for this smaller one. And then the big one, you know, where all of the orders are quite a lot larger for buying spot, which again is dupe SOL again, that's at your 140 level. But when we see SOL at $200 again, I really don't think we will see these prices again for a long time, if ever. And I still believe this. So yeah, take this one with a grain of sand. but all signs point to this actually happening. So SOL ETF next feels inevitable. So BlackRock could be, I think they say they are applying. Well, I don't know if they've got confirmation on that, but hey, let me know in the comments below if you saw confirmation on this, because I would really like to know. But Solana ETF in July, Solana ecosystem could be about to skyrocket. And now is a perfect time to find coins with 100 or at least 10x potential. You don't need 100x. 100x is like a meme coin, admittedly. I think you'll probably get a decent 10x, 20x, something like that from an ecosystem coin. But this is some very promising tokens that, at least with this post by Kryptolytix, there's some decent ones in here that I would agree with. So, but let's cover a little bit more about some of the sources. So yesterday, multiple sources reported that BlackRock initiated the process of applying for the spot Solana ETF. BlackRock is the largest ETF provider in the world with 2.8 trillion in assets under management. Weird way of displaying that, but 2.8 trillion assets under management on the US stock market. So rumors in Wall Street going hard. We've got here Solana ETF buzz grows, BlackRock reportedly interested. Recently in one of my videos, I covered that guy on, was it CNBC, saying that most likely the next one that Wall Street would be interested in would be Solana after Ethereum. So there you go, there's some more. So Blackrock SOL ETF application might be approved already in July, which is perfect timing for Solana summer. So, well, I don't know. That would be great, but we'll have to see. So make sure you're not left behind and discover Solana tokens with the highest upside potential. So this is the gold ETF chart that gets rinsed, absolutely rinsed. This is where BlackRock applied for their gold ETF and it got passed, and that was the price action afterwards. That's what this picture is, if you're wondering what this is. Solana was listed as a security by the SEC. So until that's potentially dropped, that case, which I think that case would be dropped if Biden loses the election, or unless his advisors decide to, he has been talking to advisors about crypto recently, so maybe he'll ask Gary and the SEC to drop those cases, which I don't know if that'll happen. I think they'll just wait to lose them like they have the last few. But nevertheless, Solana's been flagged as a potential security, so that's probably a bit of a headwind for us, I suppose. But we'll have to wait for that to play out if they actually apply for it. And basically what Big Daddy BlackRock says goes. Is that a thing? Because essentially, when you have this much money in assets under management, it's almost like you are the government. Let's be honest, because America is a plutocratic society. So their government works in a very similar way. So let's see what Kryptolytix reckons are ones to watch. Well, Bonk is a no-brainer with some $1.75 billion market cap. So 100x potential. That's engagement farming. It's probably not going to happen because that would be a $1.7 trillion market cap. So I mean, come on, that's not really happening. But it's still, it's still a solid buy. We got Jupe, absolutely solid buy. Good call. DEX aggregator, that's where all the volume's happening. It's probably pretty much the premier place to, well, I was going to say premier DEX, but it's not, it's a DEX aggregator, but it is the premier DEX, if you will, on the Solana chain. It's kind of your one-stop shop, the best place to go. I didn't even realize the market cap was so high, actually, for Jupe, but that's fine. MANEKI, yeah, it's a decent call, I would say. Price action's been not so good, but that doesn't matter. Look at the $82 million market cap. How's it so low? This is a really good one. And I'll cover a little bit more about this later when I start covering meme coins. Pith, definitely a good call. Price action has been terrible. The massive token unlock is not ideal, but when this thing starts to run again, it'll probably be pretty decent. That's really $1.37 billion market cap. It's a lot. Didn't realize it was so high. Helium, very good call. This one's a relatively small market cap, and this is a DPIN play. So that's your decentralized mobile plans, like for your phone. So definitely a good one. Honky, I didn't even have this one, to be honest. $178 million market cap, pretty low. Actually, this one, I know that some meme coin traders who are really good at what they do are super bullish on this. So, I mean, that's definitely one to watch. Drift, love Drift. Best PerpDEX, in my opinion, on Solana, in my opinion. Very small market, 69 million. I still hold mine, or at least half of it, sorry. I did sell half of it, but I still hold half of it to using governance potentially, or see what the staking rewards are for it coming up. Ray is massively sold off. Like if you have a look at a chart for Ray, it doesn't look great, to be honest, but it is good. Like at least these prices, you're buying a $388 million market cap. Price action looks dreadful when you look at Ray, but yeah, I still hold mine. I'm hold it from 2021. I actually have been using it in DeFi, and I managed to make an additional like 100 Ray tokens, I think it was, or even more. I think it was, I don't know. I made a lot of Ray from just how huge the yield was in Francium. Like I was flipping between Francium and Tulip, and it was like often 60, 70, 80% APY on that. It's pretty funny he's mentioning Slurf. Like, is Slurf really worth mentioning? I think it's funny, I did a whole video on Slurp, so you can go and check that out if you want. I can leave a link on the screen here for you if you're curious about what Slurp is and the whole saga behind that. It's pretty funny. Neon EVM, hold a little bit of this. It's cool. It's a fully Ethereum compatible environment on Solana. I do like the idea of this, and that's why I bought a little bit. I think I'm down on it though, admittedly. Just like I'm down on Ray. I mean, if I bought it in 2021, what do you think? Did buy a little bit more though in the bear market at like 36 cents, I think it was. So that brought my cost basis down a lot. But nevertheless, that's a wrap for this one. Yeah, and here are some projects that I'm watching that are new, relatively new at least, most of them, that I think are worth watching. We've got NX Finance, which is somewhere where you can go and 10x JLP yield leverage and 50x leverage Kamino point farming. So this is a new one akin to the Mango booster. So Mango Markets has their own booster for JLP, and now these guys have one too. 10x though, I think that's higher than the Mango one. So these guys are someone worth watching. They don't have a token yet, so maybe they'll have something. And it says here, Airdrop Fi and Yield Aggregator. They got 18% at the moment on USDC. So again, this is like a vault, so to speak. I don't know where the Airdrop Fi is though. I guess the Kamino lending pool, that would be the Airdrop Fi component, because you're farming Kamino points with 50x. That's pretty extreme. At the moment, the main thing to do, I think if you would want to come in here, is actually it's 5x. So it's same as Mango Markets. I don't know why it says 10x on their website. Nevertheless, look at the APY on that. Crazy. That's so high. But it's definitely one to watch. I mean, it degen at your own discretion, obviously, with that one. But I think it's definitely a cool project and one to watch. We got BlockPlay. BlockPlay is like GameFi reimagined. Like this is like a layer 2 for AAA games on Solana that allows you to earn block tokens for playing AAA games like Apex Legend, Fortnite, Dota 2. Like if you're into these kind of games, then this is a way you can actually make money from that. And those are free games to play as well. So this is crazy. This is bringing the AAA gaming, sort of massive gaming market into Solana. So definitely one to watch. I think these guys are building a really, really cool platform. You got mass adoption wallet, Uplink, which I covered in my last video. So again, that's a wallet on Solana that allows you to log in with your email address, for example, or social login. I think it's just email address for now, but still, that's really cool. And I think no pop-ups, which I think the Web3 wallet pop-up actually serves a pretty valuable purpose, but I think you can suppress them completely with this, which actually would make the whole use of the chain much better. I mean, I get the security behind the pop-up, but there was no pop-up for DeFi. It would just be like, click a button, transaction goes through. Like you'd be able to snipe Memecoins much faster than someone with Phantom, for example. I would say, because there'd be no pop-up. It would just work. Fiat on and off ramps, Sphere Labs. Now this is a big deal. We'll cover this in more detail in a second. Apple Pay debit card, SOLC. Look at that. I've covered these guys quite a few times in the past on my videos, and now you can add it to Apple Pay. Huge PerpDEX aggregator, range of finance. So let's get into those finance dApps that are building out on Solana, or just finance related developments, because this is actually a really, really important thing that Solana offers. And this will be massive, like additional on-chain activity and all that sort of stuff as well. But a huge use case for Solana is payments, big time, because it's fast, it's cheap, it's scalable. So it just means that as a payments rail, it has a lot of potential for that, if nothing else. But obviously there's a lot more than that. Because come on, it's Solana. But it's official. Programmable wallets now supported on Solana. So devs building on Solana can now embed secure, frictionless wallets tailored to their apps and sponsor transaction fees to streamline user experience. So how cool is this? So Circle has created in-app wallets for Solana. So what are the use cases for that? Programmable wallets enable devs to build enterprise-scale apps on Solana using flexible REST APIs in any language. Easily integrate USDC and EURC for payments, that's Euro, financial services, and more with Circle's full-stack development platform. So you can sponsor transaction fees for your users. So with gas station, builders can sponsor transaction fees on behalf of users to simplify the user experience. Set up customer policies with ease and let Circle handle the sourcing and management of native tokens like SOL and more. I mean, they're just talking about, get started free today, it's not done, all that sort of stuff. So you can come over and read the whole thing. This is huge. I think this is really cool, but really that's not all. So we've got Apple Pay finally available on the SOLC card, as I mentioned before. So these crypto debit cards haven't worked with tap to pay platforms historically. So this is a big step. So I've mentioned a few of these sort of crypto cards in the past, right? So SOLC was one of them. The other one I've mentioned before was BitStore. So now SOLC actually works with Apple Pay. So maybe Google Pay is next. Who knows? I guess we'll have to see. Maybe they work towards it. Also, Lulu integration would be a next level too. So imagine that. You've got your USDC sitting in the card, waiting to be spent while it's being deposited into DeFi on Lulu. How cool would that be? So it would be absolutely fire if SOLC users could earn passive interest on their idle USDC or USDT. We just might know how to make that happen. So that's why I said go like the post. Go like the post. So this would be the Solana ecosystem potentially replacing banks. I mean, how cool is that? And this would be what it looks like. Imagine this, put your money in Lulo and earn high APY on USDC while being able to spend it with a card. How cool would that be? That would be amazing. Now, I also mentioned Sphere. Now, Sphere is a way to onboard and offboard, if that's a thing, or on-ramp and off-ramp for Fiat, straight onto Solana. So here's a cool video of someone who's set up their Sphere Labs bank on and off ramps to Solana blockchain. So a simple off ramp using Sphere Labs, the steps would be create an account, create a wallet for your bank, send USDC to a Solana wallet. USDC is auto off ramped to your bank. Done. So that would be sort of one way to set it up. If you wanted to send some USDC back to your bank, you just set it up and it's automatic. And this is it set up so that as soon as it hits this wallet, you can see this person's sending that money and bang, there it is. And the whole thing apparently took 2 seconds. Transfer was done in 30 minutes, 0 fees. If you wanted to cash out, essentially that's one way to do it. Now, at the moment, I think you can't actually use Sphere. You can sign up for like early access and stuff, but you can request access, but that's pretty much where it is at the moment. But it's coming, right? It's coming. The other thing we've got is like, what if merchants could remove the middleman? Just use Solana Pay on your Shopify store thanks to Helio Pay. So here you go. Another use case for Solana as a payments rail using Shopify, which, you know, is used a lot. It's a lot of super bullish payments rail news for Solana. So let's get into some more of the actual ecosystem dApps and some of the developments there, because there's plenty more to get into in this video. So this is huge. Essentially what this is the new Jupiter Exchange V3 rollout introduces a value average, which optimizes investments by buying more during price drops and less during price rises. So this is basically a dynamic DCA. So dynamic DCA is one of the best ways to DCA. I'll be using this for all of my DCAs going forward, as it means you buy more at lower prices and less at higher prices. And that's kind of what I've already got set up anyway. I've got my DCAs set so that below certain prices, they get more aggressive, and above certain prices, they just stop. But with this, essentially with value average, you're doing that. So good work to the Jupiter team for adding something that every DCA strategy should implement. Oh, it shows PNL as well. How cool is this? This is going to be amazing. I don't think this is available right now, but when this comes out, this is going to be huge. This adds even more value to Jupiter. If you could even, if you could even add more value to Jupiter, this is definitely one thing that adds it. So there's an interesting take from the Jupiter team here. So the lack of utility and backing in meme coins is a feature, not a bug, since it allows the most pure nature of money to emerge naturally via the will of the people. Let's figure out how to use this immensely powerful tool for the good of humanity and not keep playing PvP. Choose PPP. So this is one thing that Meow said. He really likes the idea of PPP. It's a lot of P's, isn't it? And if you're wondering what he's talking about, that he means player pump player communities. that's the PPP versus PvP, which is player versus player, which is essentially kind of what meme coins are at the moment. But it's hard to avoid that, in all honesty, with regards to markets, because markets technically are a zero-sum game. So how to achieve this? I mean, that would be nice. That's kind of the perfect world scenario. But I like the idea of it. I kind of like that concept. When we're talking about Jupiter, the thing to note right now is that the vote is live. So this is the Uplink budget proposal. So Uplink functions as the top of the funnel for the Jupiterverse, pushing the core narrative from the team, DAO and our partners as widely and loudly as possible by a community-first approach. So Clouds did a really cool video on what the Uplink working group is all about. It's actually really cool. Essentially what this is just like, this is content creators going out, creating Jupiter-specific content to really sort of get the word out there as to how cool Jup is, because, I mean, it is, obviously. But this is another governance vote for budget, right? It's another budget vote. Now, you can go and have a look at their information on it and the proposal and everything like that if you're interested in it. And it's definitely worth looking at. You'll be able to see in detail what it's all about. But I'll give you some of a breakdown of how much money and what they want to give to these content creators, right? So I'm not a dupe creator, and I probably could be shooting myself in the foot by doing this, because, I might be just saying, look, I don't want to be a dupe creator, but this is not FUD. I just want to educate, right? I just want to give you some real numbers and break it all down for you, so you got some sort of understanding as to what this vote will actually mean. So I'm not a creator, so I can be objective on the vote. It is a budget of $138,000 per year and 537,000 dupe per year, 1 year after the vote. So there's a 1 year cliff, which means that none of this can be accessed for the first year. They'll just give maybe IOUs So this will be used to sustain the team of 6 and to provide micro grants to their roster of content creators. So there's 6 of the team, and then they divvy out to all these different content creators essentially. So if we just go by the 6, which is what these numbers that are below that I am about to tell you are, we'll just go by the 6 so you get an idea as to what that means if the micro grants weren't given out. But yeah, so the token use would be potential selling pressure, so keep that in mind, but it's going to creators that believe in the project. So that's another thing that's also worth considering as well. Team of 6 means 23K per month. That's $23,000 per month if you divide it by 6 per year, and 89,000 dupe per month to the 6 without the micro grant distribution. That's a lot. All I can say is getting a job with the Jupiter team pays some of the highest salaries in the world. There's no denying though that the 2.15 million token release will add selling pressure. It's just going to happen, right? People are going to take profit. No one's holding their dupe forever. That's just how it is, right? That being said, we won't have to worry about that for a whole year. If your plan for dupe is 1 year time horizon, then this won't mean anything to you and you may as well just vote yes. If your plan is long-term hold though, into the next cycle, just understand the impacts this will have. So hopefully that breaks it down. It's a lot of money. It's $23,000 per month. That's divided by 4 because, you can't divide it by 5. I did initially, but there's no point because it's not accessible for the first year. So it's divided by 4 and then you divide that by 6 to get these numbers. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money per month. Anyway, that's just a lot if you ask me. So go and vote. You need to anyway if you want your ASR rewards. So if you've got your dupe staked, then go and cast your vote. You can vote for, you can vote against, or you can abstain, I believe, as well. So if you don't know what to vote, you can just vote abstain. It means you don't vote for it, you don't vote against it. And they hide the progress now, just so you know. They show how many people have voted and the minimum threshold, which they've met already. But they don't show you, who's winning, so to speak. So you just vote for the winning vote. But they won't show that until the vote's done. But nevertheless, for me, I'm going to vote for because I want to support the team. And I think that this could be quite positive to get the word out there. I think some of the content that's being created around Jupiter is actually really good, especially by Clouds. His stuff is really good, nice, short and snappy and gets the point. And yeah, this is just basically to support the team. Now, again, like for me, because I'm a trader, I don't mind voting for this because I know that, well, there's going to be some unlocks that start taking place. I'm sure it's a linear release schedule for that, but there'll be sort of tokens that'll be dumpable on the market in a year's time. But that's 1 year from now. That's potentially the peak of the bull market. So it doesn't affect me in any way. And I know when to exit dupe, so to speak. And I don't plan on exiting anytime soon. What I've got staked, I will keep staked. And that's just this wallet. Got a few, but anyway, that's fine. Yeah, so cast your vote. If you feel like that's too much money to be giving to the team, then you can vote against it. It's up to you. But I just thought I would put the numbers out there so you understand what it actually means. That's quite a large budget for content creators though. So maybe I shouldn't be doing any of this, and maybe I should be like hyper bullish and be like, yeah, like maybe I can be a content creator supported by the dupe team and get, part of that $23,000 a month or whatever it is, which is a lot. But yeah, I'm voting for it. And now you know how much money it is. Use your own discretion to work out what it is that you feel is fair. And you need to vote anyway. So if you don't really care, you can also vote abstain. So there you go, there's your other option as well. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna cover is Sanctum and the Sanctum LFG launch, which is coming up very soon. So there was another call, which I took notes on, and I will go into that in just a second. But this is Jay's, who's part of the team. This is his TLDR for the upcoming LFG launch for Sanctum. So there's gonna be a vault. You can deposit in the vault for cheap cloud tokens, but the lockup will be months. The curve will start at 1 million FDV or lower. The curve will stop at 500 million FDV, which is a lot. The highest price anyone can pay is 50 cents. These are notes that I took from the call, and this also ties into the post. So Sanctum's cloud token launch is set to make waves in the crypto community with its unique vault system on Jupiter's LFG launchpad. And now this is facilitated by Meteora. This guide explains the vault mechanism and how it differs from the regular launchpad process. So the vault was created by Meteora, a DEX and liquidity pool run by the same team as Jupiter. Pretty much it's the same team as Jupiter, but also some of the team of Sanctum are also part of the Jupiter team. So you can be sure this will go down relatively smoothly, I would say. So the main things they really wanted to highlight was liquid, fair, and aligned. So liquid facilitates robust price discovery. Fair treats all equally no matter who you are, so VCs don't get any special privileges. Aligned prioritizes long-term aligned holders. me. That's me, essentially, because I have plans to do things with my cloud tokens, and I really do think that there'll be like deep integrations for the cloud token within the Solana ecosystem. Maybe able to use it in Drift to trade against, all that sort of stuff as equity. So max deposit cap is yet to be decided. So they haven't decided whether there's a max cap for how much money you can put into the vault. Most of this stuff is about the vault, so that's what we're talking about here. Vault availability goes live as soon as the LFG page is active prior to the launchpad. Deposits are made in USDC. The Alpha Vault launch price is set at half of the initial launch price. So you get a 50% discount. That's pretty much what it is. The liquidity is managed by Meteora, ensuring smooth trading, fairness and alignment. So that's what I was talking about before. So everyone buys at the same price, prioritizes long-term holders over bots. And this is the price. They were talking about a pricing curve. So it starts at 0.001 apparently, ensuring the 50% discount. So apparently this is actually an important thing to do to make sure that this is possible. So it's priced at actually less than VC prices. So this is retail being able to get in cheaper than VCs, which is really cool. And this determines the token distribution from start to end price. Now they showed a small graph with a price curve in it. So I tried to recreate this myself, which I think we'll be able to see and use somewhere when they sort of put it live. So this is kind of arbitrary, but they had it as starting at $0 to 60 cents. And this was the number of millions of tokens. So 75 million tokens, etc. is what that is. And they're just going for a linear price curve. So that's what that is. It's kind of, as I said, it's kind of arbitrary. And that's just something that they were talking about in the video. So I thought I'd put it here too. And it did take me time to recreate it, so I didn't want to leave it out. So the vesting period is aimed at long-term aligned cloud holders. They discussed a 2-month cliff. So again, that means you can't touch your tokens for 2 months. And then a 6-month linear vesting schedule, which means that every whatever, like few days or just, it will just, you know, probably count up over that 6 months and you'll be able to like claim every now and then. And then obviously if you don't want to sell it and you're doing this for long-term holds, then this doesn't really matter to you. But yeah, that essentially over that 6-month period, which will be, I think February next year, will be when it's completely finished vesting. February next year, so just keep that in mind. That's when all of your tokens that you buy in the vault will be available. So I think this, I don't know if this will fill up. We'll have to see, right? We'll have to see. But the vault cap is 50% of the pool. Maximum vault price would be, I think, 18 cents if fully filled, which is 50% of 36 cents. That's what they said in the video anyways. I think Soju was saying that if the vault is filled, then it would be 36 cents would be the price. And you get a 50% discount because you use the vault. So that would be 18 cents. So if you feel like in 8 months time, Sanctum will be worth, or the cloud token will be worth more than 18 cents, then this will still be worth it. And if the vault doesn't fill, then you'll be getting an even cheaper price, which is quite attractive. It might only be like 8 cents or something like that, which I think would be an absolute bargain. But we'll have to see if the vault fills up. So USDC can be withdrawn 5 to 10 minutes before the launchpad goes live. So that's something to factor in, is that you can actually pull your USDC from the vault. And here's an image that I inverted, as in it was white on black, but I've inverted it for this. This is how the vault works essentially. So people deposit USDC into the vault. USDC in the vault is used to buy up the LFG curve. Trading begins, vault buyers get a discount, but their tokens are locked. So price paid by vault buyers, half the initial trading price. So you can see here 15 cents, whereas everyone else is getting it at 30 cents in this example. So there you go. I even like painted the white here on the coin anyway. Earnest, right? That's the earnest. Process simplification. That's the reason why I didn't want to do anything too complex. So considering first come, first serve or pro rata distribution, airdrop information. So details will be shared in the upcoming AMA for the airdrop and for the social profiles, which I mentioned before in the last video, which is where you can add your multiple wallets, essentially. If you've got multiple wallets like I do, you can add them all together within the same place. Wonderland users will receive airdrops not related to vault access. So again, Wonderland has nothing to do with the vault, so you won't get like priority access or anything like that if you're a Wonderland participant. That was a question someone asked in the chat. So the conclusion is Sanctum's approach to the cloud token launch aims to create a fair and liquid market while prioritizing long-term holders. Stay tuned for the final details and make sure to participate in the upcoming AMAs for more information. So this is the meme they also post as well. Alpha Vault price, super cheap price, but 6-month vest versus market buy, no lockup, higher price. So there you go. That was my my addition to that. So yes, I'm super bullish on cloud, and for me, it's a long-term hold. So that's why I'm really keen to see how the launch goes. So let's keep going. We've got Kamino here adding a new feature, which was already on MarginFi. But this is huge for Kamino. I think this is actually a really big deal because Kamino is the biggest money market now on Solana, as in lending and borrowing protocol, right? So borrowers can now repay their debt with their collateral, which is really cool because before you couldn't repay your debt with collateral. You'd have to find it from somewhere else. Otherwise, you could potentially get into like a risky situation when repaying your debt back. So say if you've got like a huge debt and your health is like really up far here, but you want to pay back some of the debt. Well, now you can essentially use some of the assets you've got in your collateral there to pay back some of the debt. It's just convenient, right? I think it's just a convenience thing because if you've got this much health factor, then you can just pull that out and then repay it back. But if you are really close to your like liquidation or your max threshold or whatever, this is a really good thing because this will allow you to just essentially repay some of the debt back with your equity that you've already got, which is a much more streamlined process. And you can see here, like the loan to value ratio will change there based on your repay. That's repaying the debt because all collateral has a collateral weight or loan to value anyway. So any repaying of this debt would be a massive increase to your health. This is a big deal. I think this is a really good feature. And, I wish this sort of thing happened or existed in the last bull market when I was using Solend, because when I wanted to pay back debt in Solend, it was just this whole process, right? You got to find equity somewhere and then repay the debt back, or do like a little bit at a time if you need to unwind. It's actually can be quite tedious. Whereas now you can just go straight from your collateral, which is great. We've also got ChainGPT partnering up with ionet. Remember, ionet token is live and it's actually doing really well, the ionet token. So that's actually live and out in the wild now. And it wasn't a drop that just dumped off immediately. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, again, ionet is GPU resource sharing. They also partnered with Leonardo, as I mentioned in my last Solana recap. So now they're partnering with ChainGPT. So it's a Web3 chatbot, essentially giving you real-time crypto market insights. You can actually just prompt it with stuff and ask it. So it's a bit like ChatGPT. You can see that it's responding to this query, giving the market cap, BTC dominance, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I think it's really crypto specific, right? So it's not like a ChatGPT killer or anything like that. It kind of works with that sort of infra. We really do need a decentralized ChatGPT, to be honest, because I think right now, OpenAI probably start mining our data as they move from a not-for-profit to a for-profit company, as they are, they're partnering with Apple, and Microsoft owns like a big stake in the company and stuff as well. So just a massive potential dragnet for our data, essentially. But yeah, I think we need something like that. But this is still cool. And it's good to see ionet facilitating the operation of now ChainGPT. So now you can go and share your graphics card and help resolve the queries that people type into ChainGPT. So really cool. Really cool stuff. Also, MarginFi, mentioned before, and Meso network, which is another on and off ramp. I was talking about before, all the on and off ramps. So you can see here a fast and safe way to transfer money between wallets and banks. So there you go, have partnered to enable fiat to crypto transfers, boosting Solana liquidity direct from US bank accounts. So if you're a US bank holder, or is that what you'd call it? A bank account holder? Then yes, this is something that is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. No good for me, but if you're a US resident, then it's good for you. But again, yeah, this kind of ties into more of that stuff I was talking about with Sphere and all of those other things as well, the on and off ramps. I mentioned Ray as well earlier in this video, and this is actually a post that I saw by Marino. And yeah, so look at this. So bought a nice bag in the depths of the bear at 16 cents. Wow, you like bought cheaper than me. It's definitely had a good pump, and you never see anyone posting about it. That's true. It's a great DEX. I mean, it's been flipping Uniswap, right? In the last few days, if you have a look at on-chain metrics, Radium has been flipping Uniswap. I think a lot of that is to do with a lot of these football team, as in the World Football League team tokens being just available on Radium, and you can't route them through BirdEye, for example, because I was looking at the Germany team one, and I did actually manage to get it through Radium. I was looking at the Germany team one, and for some reason BirdEye and Jupiter couldn't route through there. I don't know why, but anyway, it's not financial advice. But look at this this chart. It looks dreadful. And from a market cap perspective, it actually isn't too bad. It's very similar to where it was, but because of the massive inflation from the tokens, and even me, as I said before, I made all of this yield on this. Essentially, it doesn't actually look too bad. But from a price perspective, like if you bought in 2021 like I did, then this is what you're looking for. Like this is not happening. We're never getting back up to the all-time high again. It's just not possible. That would take billions and billions of dollars to get it up there again. So I'm just saying that ain't happening, but market cap definitely could get above it again. Could put in like 1.2 billion or something, maybe even higher. Who knows? But that would probably look like, I would say like an $8 or something, maybe a $7 potentially, although it's not really that far. So maybe it would actually only get to like a $5. Just, just so you keep your expectations on that quite limited. But yeah, even he said like didn't realize the inflation was so high, which is yeah, that's the thing about Radium, is that I've showed in previous videos as well just how incredible the inflation is on it. So let's get moving. Cover some meme coin stuff, which I did skip in the last video, and I probably could skip now because this video has been going on for a little bit too long, but yeah, we can squeeze a few more things in here. So we had MICHI. It's actually 283% away from its all-time high. It's drawn down a lot, right? So it's entered its bleed phase, which all meme coins do. Happens. It's currently sitting just under $100 million market cap, and it's also sitting in a support and rounding out. So what do I mean by that? So if you have a look at the price, you can see it's slowly rounding out to form what could be a bottom. So that's our percentage from all-time high. And this is actually on my phone. I've made the colors purple and blue because I really like the look of it. Look at that for hours. It just looks so nice. Because blue is closer to green than purple, and purple is closer to red than blue. So that's why I've made it like that. But anyway, it's in the top quadrant of the linear regression channel. So this is a linear regression channel right here. And, when it starts to move and close into the top quadrant and stay above there, then it means the bleed phase could be over. And we're in that support right now. I mean, it's still 1000% above where I bought it, but, which was at about, I think, 0.019 or thereabouts. Let's have a look. Oh, down here. That's where I bought it. And this is where I took profit at about 60 something cents. I don't know why the sell's not appearing on here. Maybe I have to refresh it, but then I bought a bunch back. I just bought my initial investment back here, and it's just bled all the way since. So that's 100%. It needs to get back up to where I rebought. I think my average is like around here. That's again, just my initial investment. All the profit from that I actually bought Near and Solana with, which I think I mentioned. But yeah, it's doing its bleed, and until it breaks some of this important structure, could potentially just keep bleeding, right? I think really the level to break for MICHI is right here, right? So if we can break this level here, then that's pretty good. That's a good sign. That's when things are back on. I think in the short term though, you could say probably this is a significant level. So if we reclaim this level and start putting in higher highs and higher lows, then it's back on for MICHI, right? We're going to potentially get another one of these legs back up. Whether we just come back up to the top, who knows? Remains to be seen, right? But MICHI is it's still, memes are coming out every day for it. You go onto their X, you can still see people still keep making MICHI memes. So the community is still very active, but that's not going to stop people from taking profit, right? Just because the community is active. That sort of correlates to here. So if we can get above this structure here and hold it at 30 cents, then that's breaking out of this regression channel and shows that this support was significant. So that's a MICHI update, which I haven't covered MICHI in a while, but I thought I would mention it because all meme coins go through these drawdown. Every meme coin goes down through a drawdown phase. Every single one, just so you know. And it's only when things get really boring, and look at the volume squeezes here as well. Volume's really starting to drop off. When it gets really boring and starts to round out, those are definitely your better times to buy. Up here is not a good time to buy. These aren't good times to buy, especially these big volume spikes. Look at that big spike there. These big volume spikes, buy spikes. You're buying strength, admittedly, but you could be potentially buying local tops. Because these little spikes, these big spikes above the moving average, because that's what this blue sort of area is down the bottom there. Those are your big buy spikes. So when volume diminishes, that's when we form a bottom, and then boom, we go up to the next one. There's a big spike there, volume diminished, which was the bottom, boom. So that's a sort of compressed form of what I'm trying to explain here. Whereas this is a long bleed phase where we get just like kind of nothing, and then volume goes to a trickle, and then the sellers leave, and then there's something that happens and things probably explode again. So MICHI's not out completely, but it's not being talked about right now, that's for sure. So I just figured I would give an update on it because people are talking about the celebrity fire, right? So Andrew Tate, his coin, which is Daddy, I think. Yeah, I ain't touching this personally. I just don't like this guy's attitude. Obviously, he's got that sort of trying to play that main character vibe or whatever, but I'm not really into this guy, so whatever, that's just me. But he said he literally burnt $110 million yesterday of his token. But if you have a look here at the added context, token founder burnt 400 million tokens that if sold on the market would result in $841,290 due to the lack of buying interest. There you go. So $110 million, nah, sorry. This is a common move by token founders trying to appease victims in order to try to go through another cycle of pump and dump. Wow, that's super critical. That's super critical. Please let me be a ratio. Like the timeline deserves it. everyone's trying to ratio Tate against Iggy. This is a weird thing going on, I guess, but yeah, between these celebrities as well. Like, I don't know, it keeps things spicy. People like drama, so I guess maybe it keeps people sticky. But yeah, that's wrong, completely wrong. And here, I burned 110 million of my coin. It's like, my brother, there is less than 3 million of liquidity. So how could you possibly burn that much? So I just thought this kind of puts it into perspective. I thought this was pretty interesting. So MANEKI team is being interviewed by the New York Stock Exchange. So here it is here. So this is their press speaker talking to Jane King. And yeah, so pretty interesting to see MANEKI interviewed at the New York Stock Exchange. Thanks to Market Jane for this moment. So the MANEKI team is there and getting their name out there. It's a local top, I don't know. Anyway, so we got Iggy was there a few days ago too, apparently, and she's got the suits talking about SOL meme coins. Solana culture is making waves on Wall Street. SOL ETF soon, I reckon, if this keeps up. So that's sort of my take on it, I suppose. We also had Iggy, the founder of the Mother token, at the New York Stock Exchange, meeting up with Jim Cramer. Now, Jim Cramer is the ultimate reverse Cramer. He's an indicator. So we've got Iggy meeting up with Jim Cramer. That's so random. I just didn't. Yeah. Look, you know how bearish this guy is on Soldano or Cardano, Solana, whatever. He calls it the wrong thing no matter what. But it's gonna be interesting to see what this does to his opinion of Solana, because it's literally a coin on Solana. I just thought this was pretty funny. But it kind of frightens me a little bit, to be honest. I know I said that, like, meme coins, stuff like this shouldn't be considered a top signal, but I mean, yeah. Make of this what you will. Yeah, I'm still bullish on the Mother token. I think it's sold off a decent amount recently, but I think it had a nice small little pump in the last 24 hours, regaining its $100 million market cap. So that was a nice little push up, but could this just be another local high? We'll have to see. But yeah, I mean, I think my buy price for this is like down here or something, like 6 cents. So I'm still up on it. Very small amount. But yeah, my plan like this is like with everything, I'm going to be selling half of it at about 60 cents. And then the other half is going to, like, I don't know, $1.20 or something. And yeah, it might go up even more than that, but I don't care because I'm a trader and that's what I do. And also meme coins to me, or I wouldn't say meme coins now, they've almost become like social tokens. I think the idea of this is like, celebrity tokens, social tokens. It's a meme coin, sure, like that's what we all know it as, but this whole Mother thing and like with all the celebrity stuff, it's kind of redefined what these are. Like they're just tokens now, right? They're social tokens or meme coins or, whatever, like a token for something, token for nothing. Well, that's what a meme coin is basically. We've even got the Solana politician meme coin meta, right? So again, like it's a way for people to, I guess it's almost like betting on outcomes without using a prediction market. But, for example, we've got like the football teams now. That's a thing that's going, right? The Germany one, at least for me, is up a couple 100%. And we got Bowden, we got Tremp, all that sort of stuff. Here's actually my take on, because you can use sentiment from these various different news narratives or whatever to sort of almost place a bet on the outcome of something using a token that trades liquid on a market, which is a really cool concept. I think it's a really cool concept, and that's what they've become. That's what these tokens have become. Meme coins, social tokens, whatever, call it what you will. Like, the name's arbitrary. They are what they are. But this is my take on the Solana politician meme coins. So Bowden public appearance videos where he looks like a robot, where he's just standing there with his hands like this and just not really knowing where to go or what to do and just freezing up and walking off in the other direction, confused. I mean, they're good and all, but let's be real. Do you really think he has 4 more years left in him? I don't. And according to at least a lot of sort of the news that I watch, at least, just all independent media and stuff like that. But the news that I watch, a lot of people are saying that there's a good chance. And again, nothing's guaranteed. It's probably like a 10% probability at this stage, but they're saying that maybe Gavin Newsom, and I don't even know anything about this guy, let's be honest, but they'll just throw him in last minute to take over from Joe Biden. So what do you do in those cases where you've got this sort of inside information and you're like, what if that actually happens? What if Gavin Newsom is the new Democratic candidate? Well, you've got Newsom already, right? So again, all of this stuff is NFA. I'm not giving you any financial advice, just giving you an update on the meme coins. But Newsom, I added it to my watch list. Yeah, I bought it. Oh, I couldn't help myself. Because, and just a small amount, I think I put 1 SOL into this. I've given myself like 8 SOL just to throw at some of this stuff, just for fun. Oh, it looked a lot better this morning. So that's my buy price down there at 30 cents, roughly. So yeah, went up a little bit, 150%, but this is not looking great. This just looks like a lower high, but could just be a range. Anyway, so I don't think this will really matter until, until like that news is sort of comes out. But if Joe Biden drops out of the race and Gavin Newsom steps in, then this one's probably set to be probably the main one is Gavin Newsom. All of this like weird lizard people and misspelt names, like I'm into it. I like it. I think this is probably the most legit one. Like they've got a website, okay following, I think. What, 506 is no one. And no one knows about this. This is super degen. Like do this at your own risk. Like literally do this at your own risk. You see, I bought it. I mean, I'm here for it, whatever. Actually, I just used USDC for this one, not SOL. But yeah, so it actually went up a decent amount after I bought it. Same strategy for this one for me. Exiting at 800%, or was it 900%? Can't remember. Which is, I don't know, 10x or something like that. Half of it, and then the other half at 20x. So that's my strategy for it. But yeah, if you just got to watch the news with this stuff, right? This is like very sentiment driven and very random sometimes. But if there's any news at all about this guy taking Joe Biden's position as the candidate for the Democrat in the upcoming election, then this thing could explode. So that's why I've like sow the seeds now, just in case. It's 1 SOL, I don't care, right? I think that's roughly how much I put into this, about 1 SOL worth. It's not here because it's in a limit order already. As soon as I buy these things, I just put them straight into limit orders, so they're not sitting in my wallet. And I can't even add this to my portfolio tracker. But anyway, let's move on. We've got a airdrop for Bonfida, so 700,000 Fida tokens to users with a primary .sol domain name on Solana, which can be claimed on their website. So if you want to know if you are eligible for this, if you've got a .sol domain, like I do, then you can just go onto their website, connect your wallet, and then a banner will appear at the top of the page. When you connect, that'll say that you're eligible for the airdrop, right? So yeah, it's just sns.id. You just connect your wallet, come over here, and then yeah, like if you're eligible, it'll just pop up at the top of the page there, and you just click claim. I couldn't claim it at first, but I just clicked trying and then it got through. But yeah, that's it. There's a new airdrop for Bonfida token domain holders. And I think that's all I can cover in today's video because it's been going on for a while now. There's just a lot to cover. There's a Solana ecosystem for you. Always new stuff, right? There's always new stuff. So I'm going to do another video next. That will be for Injective and some of the Cosmos ecosystem stuff. So if you want to watch that, then keep your eye open for that video. But if you don't, then that's fine. If you like this video, then please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of today's video. And go follow me on X if you want all of this alpha in real time before I can do a video on it. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one. This is Kryptolytix signing out. Have a good one.